For our next video for beginning technology for efficiency and assessment, I'd like to discuss how to create a form using Google Apps. Just like spreadsheets and documents and presentations that we discussed earlier, a Google form is a way that you can collect information from students or parents or other teachers and combine it all into a single spreadsheet. And again, one of the really great features of it is you can share this with other teachers, students, etc. So once you're signed into your Google Apps account, you'll want to go to the red Create button and scroll down and select Form. And this is going to give you kind of the basic template for your form. Up here, you're going to want to give it a name. And you can add in some subtext here if you'd like. And then we've got a couple of different options for questions, and it gives us 2 questions here. Usually when I'm doing forms or surveys, I like to have the participants put in their name so that I can organize the information and sort the information by their first or last name. So I usually put these as 2 separate questions. So I'll do a first name, and then for like my second question here, I'll do a last name. Now you'll notice there's a couple of options here. If you want to have some help text, some explanation of the question, you can insert that there. You can change the question type, and you have quite a few options for that. Text is just a short, single 1 or 2 answer response. Paragraph text would be if you want a longer survey response. Multiple choice, check boxes, you can have them select multiple different options, check boxes. Choose from a list is very similar to multiple choice or check boxes. Scale and grid give you an option to, well, scale is a scale, and grid gives you an option to create a grid for, let's say you wanted to have people maybe select their familiarity or comfort with a series of different topics on a scale of 1 to 5 or something. You could do that. Your other option is to click this box right here that makes this a required question. This forces the person taking the survey to actually complete this question so that they, before they can turn it in or fill it out. And so I usually require this sometimes for names if I do want a name, or definitely for an email, or if I'm going to use a class, I'll check this box. If I ever want to go back and edit a previous question, I just click on that question, and I click right here on Edit, and I'm going to make this one required as well. There's a couple of other options with these. You can duplicate, that's this button here, or you can trash a question if you don't like it. When you're ready to add new questions, you have 2 ways that you can do that. You can click this duplicate button, and it's going to duplicate that exact question. So maybe I want this to be email address. Or if I'd like to add a question or something, I can go up here to Add Item, and it gives me different question types. I can also add a section header or a page break from this option menu here too. Another option that you have with your form is you can actually change the theme. If you click on the theme button up at the top left, it's going to give you quite a few different options of themes that you can choose from. Looks like there's about 97 now. They all kind of have a little different, unique appearance, and it's kind of fun to pick a different theme. This is one of my favorites. We'll go with this one. And it'll give you a preview as what this theme is going to look like with your survey. And if you click Apply, it will apply that theme to your survey, and you can see now up here it says Spices. You have quite a few other options just from this menu here. You can email the form. You can actually see your responses. Under More Actions, you can embed or edit confirmation. The edit confirmation is what responders will see once they've finished the survey, and so this is just the general response that people see. Your response has been recorded. You can change that. You can also publish the response survey if you'd like. Let's say that we're done with our survey here, and I've finished all of that. Make sure that it's saved up here. It's already saved for us, and then you can close it. And you can see in my Google Docs now I have this new document called Tech for Efficiency. That's the form that we just made. This is the symbol for form. And so if I reopen that, it's actually not going to take me to the form. It's going to take me to this spreadsheet. And this is the area, or this is the place where all of the information from the form will be recorded. Timestamp is an exact time of when the individual took the survey, and then these are the questions that I've had. If I'd like to go back and edit my form, you can see there's a column up here that says form. If I click on that, there you have quite a few options. Edit form, you can send the form, you can go to the live form, you can embed it in a web page, you can show a summary of responses, you can turn on or off whether you're accepting responses or not. That's kind of a nice feature. So let's say I want to edit the form a little bit more. If I click on edit form, it's going to allow me to continue to edit that form and add questions. Let's say I want to add another question. So I've added that question. I'm going to click save, and we can see if I close this now, we can see that this is a new, it's automatically added to the spreadsheet here. Again, just with any other Google Doc, if you want to share this with another individual, you can click the blue share button, and you can see who it's being shared with right now, and you can add people as we've done in previous videos. The other important things with the form is how you share this with people, or not how you share it, but how you provide people the link to the form. A lot of times, a very common mistake is to share the document with other people that you just want them to take the survey. And the way to show or have people take the survey is by going to a live form. So under form, if I go down to go to live form and I click that, it's going to open up a new tab or a new browser of your form. And so you can see this is the form that we just created. Tech Proficiency, here are the questions, here's my theme. If I want somebody to take my form, the URL that's in your browser, this is what you want to share with people. This is what I would want to give people a link to this particular page so that they just have the form. That way they are given the form and they're not given the spreadsheet, this portion of the document. So let me just fill this out real quick and we can see how it works. So I click submit, and this is the response I get. We could close this, and now you can see right here, timestamp, name, email, response to the question. It automatically does that. Another really nice feature and a really good way to look at responses very quickly overall of all the responses is to, under form, click on show summary responses. And what this does is it shows you answers to everybody's responses. For this survey, that's not very helpful right now, but I want to show you an example of one that I've used in my class so you can get a better idea of how this could work in a classroom. I use Google Forms to do my pre-assessments for our different units, and it helps me to get a really quick, good idea of where students are at in their knowledge of the different topics. And so this is one that I used for DNA. And so you can see I've got timestamps, I've deleted names and email addresses, but then these are the questions and these are students' responses right here. If I want to see very quickly how students are doing, I can click on Form, and I can go to Show Summary of Responses. And if I scroll down a little bit here, I can see how many people and from what classes people are completing the pre-assessment. And then I have for each question, Google will automatically create a pie graph to show you who or how many students are responding for each different questions. Given that this is a pre-assessment, I don't expect the students to be doing very well on this necessarily, just to kind of see where they're at. But I can get a good idea of what students know previously just by knowing these questions and by knowing the correct answers. So it's a very helpful feature to be able to assess where students are at very quickly. This is all done automatically. Really the only thing that you have to create is the form and the questions that you want to ask the students. The last thing that I'd like to show you with the forms and the spreadsheets is the ability to have a self-correcting form. There's a free service called Flubaroo that you can use that will allow you to create a form, and then you can create a key for that form, and just by clicking a couple of different buttons you can, one, correct the form and get a response for every student who's taken the form, as well as email responses and correct answers to students, to every student. It's a very simple process. I'm not going to go through the steps to actually using Flubaroo. They've created their own video of how to do that. I just want to quickly walk through of how to actually set that up in your spreadsheet, in your form. You'll notice I keep saying spreadsheet. This right here is a Google spreadsheet. Just like Excel, you can use Google Spreadsheets to create graphs. I've created some other videos that explain how to do that, do basic formulas and equations. Spreadsheets and forms are very linked in Google Apps. You can see, again, clicking on form, this allows us to edit the form. The spreadsheets are where all of the information from the form is kept. So if I go up to Insert, I click on Insert, down at the bottom you can see I've got an option to insert a script. If I click that, it's going to give me, there's lots of different scripts that people have published and are available to you for free. The quickest way to get Flubaroo is to actually just type it in, F-L-U-B-A-R-O-O. If I search for that, you can see it's right here. I want to click Install. And once it's done installing, it's going to ask for your authorization. Click Authorize. And it's going to say that you can now run the script. I'm going to close this. And you can see now that it says it's installed. If I click Close, you'll notice there's one change now to our spreadsheets. Up here in the menu, there's a link or a bar called Flubaroo. If I click that, you can see where I can grade the assignment or about Flubaroo. They have a lot of very helpful instructions on their website, so I'm not going to go through actually how to use Flubaroo. And as I mentioned, they also created a video of how to do that. But that's how you use Flubaroo, and that's a pretty quick overview of using Google Forms to create a survey to collect information from students, parents, teachers, etc.